coming up over and over and over again. Even I've even seen it in my personal friendships and life and whatnot. But I was watching Love and Hip Hop last night, and one of the cast members on there was telling her kid's father that if he didn't cut it off, with the woman or stop dealing with the woman, he wouldn't see his child. So this really irritates me because, number one, your child's father's relationships has nothing to do with your child, and using your child as a pawn in order to, keep a man or to, get back at him or whatever. At the end of the day, like, what women need to realize is that, you're not hurting yourself. You're not hurting him. You're hurting the child at the end of the day. And that's what needs to be focused on. And I think that's what parents lack these days, because everybody's so immature and caught up in their own selfish wants and needs that they forget about the children. And at the end of the day, it's about your child. With you withholding your child from their parent just because you don't like their relationship with someone else or just because they're not with you, that's so immature. And not as an immature, it's really hateful and it's evil. And I don't respect that from any woman. If a man doesn't want you, or vice versa, let it go. Don't sit and dangle, your child in somebody's face, and then tell them you can't see them just because you don't like who they're with or because they've moved on with their life. You have to be mature and just understand that, what, this was not meant for us to be, so let's just move on. Yes, we created a child out of the situation, so let's find out how we can be better co-parents and, do what's best for our child or children. I myself have 3 kids. I was married to my children's father. They all have the same dad. I was married to him. And, we just didn't work out. We were together for 10 years, and things just didn't work out. And, with that being said, we had to learn how to co-parent. Now, I'm not saying that our situation was perfect when it ended. I'm not saying that, everything was all peaches and cream, because it wasn't. It wasn't. I wanted the relationship to end. He didn't. Yeah, he acted out a little bit, but you know what? He got over it, and I never had to say, well, you can't see your kids, or you can't, because you're not with me, I don't want my kids around nobody else, blah, blah, blah. Listen, life is life. And at the end of the day, when people break up, and if you have kids, they're going to move on, and your kids are going to be around somebody else, and your kids are going to do it. So what? So what? If it's not an endangerment to your child, and if they're not, doing anything to harm your child or to be mean to your child, so what? So what? Everyone deserves a chance to be happy. Everyone deserves, to move on with their life. And, you have to accept the fact that, you guys just weren't meant to be. It is what it is. And I think people just need to start being more mature instead of telling someone, oh, well, if you don't cut it off or if you don't do this, then you can't see your kids. Like, who does that? Who does that? And how is that benefiting your child or you, for that matter? Because at the end of the day, if you have to force someone to be with you by using your kids, why would you want that anyway? Who wants to be forced into being with someone? Why would you even want to be with someone that you literally had to force to stay with you? And I think it's unfair to hijack somebody that, the only way, because I hear it all the time. I have a lot of guy friends, and I know a lot of men that say, yeah, I'm here because of my kids. I'm staying because of my kids. Are you kidding me? That's not helping your children. That's teaching your children that it's okay to settle for something that they don't want. That's not helping them because you stay with the parent. Because at the end of the day, you can still be a good father or mother without having to be with the person that you created the child with. I mean, you don't have to be with somebody just because of your kids. Like, again, that's teaching them to settle. You know what? When I decided I was done with my relationship, that was it. I didn't say, you know what, I'm going to stay for my kids. I'm going to do this for my kids. No, because that's not teaching my children anything positive. That's just teaching them that it's okay to become complacent. And it's okay to accept things that you don't really want to do just to stay with somebody. And that's not good. When I walked away from our situation, it was very hard. It was very difficult. And like I said, it wasn't all peaches and cream. But to this day, we find a way to co-parent. And my kid's father gets on my nerves sometimes. And I'm sure I get on here saying, like, we have our moments. But at the end of the day, though, one thing my kids can say is, like, they don't see us going back and forth and, acting crazy and, drama and us fighting. And, they don't see all that. I don't put my kids around that because you know what? At the end of the day, my kids are more important to me, and their well-being is more important to me. Their mental health is more important to me. So I'm not going to sit here and put them in a situation where they're going to grow up with a complex. Like, it's a cycle. You know what I mean? It's a cycle. It's like the same way that you act in front of your children, and the same things you do in front of your kids, they're going to grow up to get a person just like you, that acts just like you. And as a parent, you're not going to like that. I have personally seen, some craziness. And, I even had to tell, a couple people, like, the same way that this person is acting towards you and things like that in front of your kids are going to grow up and get that same kind of person. Because you know why? They watched you go through it. They watched their parents go through it. And they're going to be like, you know what? Hey, my parents did it. This is what my mother accepted. This is my father accepted. So I guess this is how life is supposed to be. No, that is the cycle. It is a terrible, terrible cycle. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, it is very rampant in the African American community, more so than anybody, because we, if he not going to be with me, he ain't going to see his kids. If he not going to, be in my life and be with us, he not going to see his kids. That is so freaking immature. And for you women that do that, I don't care how offended you get. Yes, I said it. It's immature and it's evil. And it's not helping you or anybody else. And it's damn sure not helping your children. It's ruining them. You are ruining them. And there are a lot of, we tend to blame fathers for not being in kids' lives and things like that. But let me tell you something. I'm a woman. I'm a mother. And to be honest with you, if I were men, some of the men that just kind of walk away and be like, you know what? I want to be in my kid's life, but I don't want to deal with this. I don't blame them. I don't blame them, because who wants to sit here and allow someone to, use a human being to hurt them? You rather just cut your losses, unfortunately. And I think that's how a lot of, men think, is like, if I got to deal with this, man, I'd just rather just cut my losses and just be like, and just move on. And how can you blame them? Because who wants to be taunted by another human being that they helped create? That's theirs. Who wants to be taunted? And, so when we have fathers, you have to also ask the question as to why that is. It's not, I don't really believe it's always the father. A lot of times it is the mother that makes it difficult, for the father. It is. Now there are some deadbeat dads, don't get me wrong. There's a ton of them. But it also just, goes back to too, like, you have to get to the real root of the problem. And it's not always the man. Sometimes it is the woman. And a lot of times men just don't want to deal with it. And I don't blame them. Like I said, I'm a mother. I'm a woman too. So this is coming from a woman. And I'm saying I understand the fact that when some men just don't want to be bothered because they have to go through all this foolishness, they just don't. And it's not, and it's not fair. Like I said, it's not fair to the child. It's not fair to the father. It's not even fair to you. And let me tell you something. As a woman, you're being stupid. You know why? Because, hello, that's a babysitter. Let your kids go with their father, whether he's not with you or not, whether you still want the relationship, let him go. You know why? Because that gives you time as a mother to have mommy time, to have some me time and go do what you want to do. Why are you going to stick yourself with a kid 24 hours, 7 days a week when you don't have to? If you have a man or a father that wants to take his kids and wants to be around his kids, let them go, man. Because then you get time to go do what you want to do. You can go get your nails done, hair done, whatever you want to do. Go hang or just sit and just look at the wall if you want to. You're punishing yourself. And then you sit up here and say, oh my God, I don't know, babies, I don't know, I'm always with my kids, blah, blah. Hello? You already have somebody. Let your kids go. But see, you want to be so spiteful and you want to be so childish that you're only punishing yourselves and your children. Like, what that man does with someone else is none of your business if y'all not together anymore. All you need to worry about is that the child is being taken care of, they're respectful to your child, they're good to your child. That's the only thing you should be really concerned about. At the end of the day, relationships come and go. They last, they don't. It is what it is. But you got to get over it. And using someone's child to get back at them, like I said, it's just the most evilest thing. And, I'm just really tired of it. I see it a lot, and it's just like, it's so immature. It's like, you need to grow up as women. And this is why, we get the stereotypes and the backlash that we do. Baby mamas. I hate to be called, I don't ever want to be called a baby mama, because to me, baby mama is someone who's just like I just described, ratchet. Someone who's evil, manipulative, malicious. I am a mother because I can respectfully and maturely deal with my kid's father and understand and know that our relationship did not work, but we are good friends and we can remain friends, and I don't care who he's with. As long as they're good to my children, that's all that matters to me. And that's all that should matter to, the rest of the women of the world too. And that's just my little piece, and I just had to get it off my chest, and that's it.